could reach Buhari, the new president, and they got the clearance that, why? I don't know, you can't do that. That's when they allowed Jonathan to continue his flight. So Buhari is kind of somehow, or the people around him, they don't know the intention of Tifnumbu per se. Sure, you get. So they are reassuring themselves that this time around, Garbage Shehu was talking, and he said, but before we get to Garbage Shehu, so they were asking Buhari yesterday. They are not even asking, he was just talking all those nonsense, Abi. Ma play them for you. He was talking about why he shut down the border. Now, Nigeria is more divided, though. Now, take you to Garbage Shehu. Listen to this.
Nigerians insist that they have to impress their neighbors and other people, that they eat foreign rice. I said, no rice. You either you eat what you grow what you eat, or you die. I think I tried to make my point. And later, Nigeria appreciated it because it provides more jobs. People go back to the land. We have the land, and we produce what we eat. I have only 6 more days to go. And I try to plan to be as far away from Abuja as possible. And thank goodness I came from an area which is farthest away from Abuja. I said, if anybody false move, I establish good relationship with my neighbors. The Nigerian people will defend me. Thank you very much.
So he said he shut the border because Nigerians want to impress their neighbor by eating the foreign rice. In order for Nigeria not to eat the foreign rice, that's why he shut the border for 7 years. And he killed businesses, unleashed terrorists on the same farmers that will grow food. Now, if they don't believe that they failed in protecting those farmers, what about the Anchor Borrowers Program? The one that they took 1.4 trillion naira loan. That's how much the loan come to after they converted it to. 1.4 trillion naira loan from the African Development Bank. In order to give this money, they gave the money to farmers to grow cash, perishable food like rice and all that. By the time the Fulani terrorists kill the ones they will kill, take over as many farms as they will take, and Nigeria just abandon the farm to them. And Boko Haram kill the ones they will kill, beheaded there like over 120 in a single state, in a single day. Rice farmers who collected money from central bank, dead body no they pay the money for coffee. No, dead money no they pay burial money. No, dead body they pay burial money. Some people they pay for their burial before they die. They say, if I die, use this money to bury me. But anyway, you should get what I'm saying, in Nigeria. So at the end of the day, they had to use pong tipper koyepe. They use tipper to start loading paddy rice. Nigeria, giant of Africa. No single national silo. No processing plant that you can say, oh, this is where we have paddy rice, so rice with epo rice on it. They had to load them and start displaying them in Abuja to prove that they actually grow and harvested rice. Afterwards, when they put the whole thing together, Baba, the entire harvest for the whole 1.4 trillion naira investment, Baba, reach 100 billion naira. 100 billion. That pyramid where you see for Abuja that they reach 100 billion. We saw dust at shavings and the rest of them are part of, well, I don't know. Nigeria lost over 1 trillion naira on agricultural project of Buhari and Cost Borrowers Program due to insecurity. And secretly, Dangote is allowed to bring grains in as to help any shortages. Dangote now has a refinery. Yes, this is the pride of Nigeria. This is this Mayegun. Let me tell you something. Don't tell me anything because some of you, What you want to tell me? Abobaku? That I have not heard from your parents or your uncles or aunties. The people you actually inherited your dumbness from. So what do you want to say? What do you want to talk? This is a pride. He is a pride of Africa. He is going to change Nigeria. It's all right. Let's sing national anthem at the come. I'll take you to Dangote place again now, so you know what they actually bring him for you. Buhari. So after all their failures and all of the money spent or stolen, nothing to give, they say you should go to town and start celebrating Dangote Refinery. It's not like you have anything to do to it. Oh. You see, that is where some of you kind of always miss it. As we are right now, nobody say you get any power. Anybody has any power to change anything they have done. Nobody has anything to do about it. Mine is to kind of help you and your, what do you call it? And your castle in the air. Let me explain that. We know Dangote is a quota system billionaire. Okay? And going into what that means is like stressing it, but you get to know anyway. Nigeria can't build refinery, but Dangote can build one. That comes with its own privilege. First, Nigeria was able to give him $9 billion that he didn't tell any of you. Nobody knows that Nigeria was giving this particular billionaire. We're going to give him 6. In America, you see, giving money to capitalists, you call them billionaires, businesses, the top 1%, all over the world, they do it all. Whether it is for political connection, whatever, they do it all. You know how they do it? Instead of giving Dangote $9 billion, a reasonable country, number one, no reasonable country will invest and put such money on refinery. If you want to build refinery, which is a private, if the government says they can't earn anymore, sell all the scrap, and which means let people build them with their money. Or if you want to help them, the way they do all over the world, the way make world normal, not like in Nigeria. You see that $9 billion. By the time they share the money to different sectors, different businesses, even you where they do your dressing, the money go reach you to help your business. They will spread the money into the economy. So yes, the big boys will take the chunk because of their connection and closeness to the politicians. But they won't pack all the money and give to one person or 2 people or 3 people, and they will call it helping to grow economy. That doesn't make any sense. You know that? Banks will run down in the UK. Banks will run down in America. American politicians who are in government, they will go into American Treasury, UK Treasury, and they will draw money out. They won't give it to one person. They will share them to all the industries. You know why? To save jobs. But in Nigeria, Nigeria Central Bank, Nigeria government exists to save Dangote. But does Dangote save you as Nigerians? Of course not. He's a businessman. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Abroad, they share the money to those who can help the economy. Not give it to one person and give him the monopoly. Monopoly to one person doesn't improve anything. And that is why I want you to listen a little bit before we go back to this Dangote to Peter side. Why did I forget his name? Anyway, you shall know, Peter side. Listen to this. I understand how rigged the Nigerian economy or Nigerian system is meant for the minute few, but rigged against majority young people who aspire, who are so energetic, who are so kind of, what do they call this thing? Ambitious. All they need is the real support to chase and pursue their dreams, which in return could have helped Nigeria. But that's not how Nigeria works. Everybody must be slaves, and you must be sent to the direction they want you to go. If you go out of that, then you will be considered a rebel. A rigged system. How do you make things out of this? I'll play it for you. It was a 2020 video. But I think the message is still very much, the message still resonates today. It's over 5 minutes. Relax and let's watch it.
Thank you, Nduka. My governor of Lagos State, governor of Central Bank, Aliko Dangote Jimovia, my Oba Tudeko himself in person, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I'm going to point out is that when we are going into these groups, I just want to make a little comment about the limits of monetary policy, because the CBN governor slightly tried to allude to that, in the sense that we talk about a typical businessman faces, when he wants to do a project, thinks about risks and return. That risk-return equation, you want to tilt it in the direction of making many more projects viable, so you have a lot more investment. So there's a serious problem when there are some risks that nobody is touching, which are making projects costly and so on. And they cannot be touched necessarily by monetary policy. You can touch some of those risks with monetary policy, but it's a big mistake to try and fight every problem with money. Because some problems, you fight them with money, you worsen them and you compound the problem. So the next thing I'm going to point out is the governor mentioned that we brought inflation from 18% down to 11% and so on. But it's funny because I gave an interview the other day and said, CBN governors in Nigeria are very good at bringing down inflation when it gets to a level that is politically unacceptable, like 18, 19. When it gets near 10%, they get tired. And the thing now stays at 11%, 10% endlessly. There's no need for that. The same methods that brought it down to 18 from the 11 can bring it down to 5. Now, but it's true. Listen, there are some things in economics like bringing down inflation. Every student can write an essay and pass it. We've seen Brazil bring it down from this figure to 5% and so on. We can do the same. So why aren't we doing it? Let me explain some of the reasons why I think it's also doubly important that we bring inflation to something like 5%. See, when the governor spoke about exchange rate stability, he knows I'm in favor of that. In fact, if I may reveal a secret, when the exchange rate was 360, and I think one day he was talking and he was thinking of bringing it down to 355, I screamed and told him to hold it at the 360, because I thought that it would be a mistake to take it on a journey that you cannot sustain. So at 360, you could have stability, which we still have. But let me also explain what will threaten that stability. So let's not kid ourselves. If you have an inflation rate that is 11% year on year, US inflation rate is 2%, every year you don't adjust, it's a 9% differential. The solution is not to devalue, but to bring down the inflation rate. You follow me? That's where the solution is. So there's no debate. Who's against managed float? Definitely not me. What some of us were against were multiple exchange rates, which you don't understand. You follow me? You follow me? So effectively, in your second tenure, Mr. Governor, I think we have to find a way to clear up these last vestiges of confusion caused by multiple exchange rates. The other thing I want to point out as well is that, it echoed in this room. Look, Aliko and I go back a long way. He's done phenomenally well. About 2 decades, done phenomenally well. Jim, Mike Adenuga and co. Let me tell you what they all have in common. They are all very combative personalities. Because of that, no regulator will go to them and try nonsense. Because most of them know how to deal with that regulator. We have to move beyond that, making Nigeria an economy only for the few people who are very combative. Some of us too are combative enough, so people know what's in regulation. Now let me continue, because those we are destroying are the 22-year-old entrepreneurs, the 25-year-old entrepreneurs. This economy is rigged against the youth, and it's not going to grow. When Aliko and I were 30, we were allowed to grow. Today, we're killing the youth from growing. So it's not going to grow. That's the point I'm making. And the reason, the things we have to correct, you see, any regulator that wants to get applause, just go after some people, destroy some businesses, and the more you destroy, the more they hail you. It's even proof that you're working. That's the paradigm shift. We have to get out of that complete nonsense. Without that, it will negate any monetary policy and everything else. The other thing I want to point out as well is that the tax rate, Aliko said, is too high.
Nigerians insist that they have to impress their neighbors and other people, that they eat foreign rice. I said, no rice. You either you eat what you grow what you eat, or you die.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
A system they have already rigged. You want to work hard. I'm working hard. I am so working. And others are not. They don't have to do anything. It's rigged against you. And there is nowhere you can see any progress. So somebody now said, yeah, but the refinery, they are going to be giving it to him in Naira. I said, okay. If they are going to be giving Nigeria crude oil to Dangote in Naira, is it going to be of the same market value? No, Dangote's refinery is going to crash dollar. It's going to strengthen Naira. Dangote's refinery is going to stop subsidy. Dangote Refinery is going to stop importation of fuel. And so many other things they've told you about Dangote Refinery. The fuel is going to be cheap and all that. Well, I have news for you. According to Dangote himself, when he was asked this question, well, they said, well, they are business. There's no problem in your government subsidizing you. But they will be selling their oil when they start based on the market value. Do you know what that means? I'll tell you, in case if you don't know. So that may not be like, say, Oyinbo one day make you feel like, say, I don't get it. Or Mayegun, you don't get it. See, layman to layman, no. Don't let anybody use any nonsense Oyinbo. Excuse me, to bamboozle you. Layman to layman, are you go pay? Are you with me? First, make the one where they call himself Mr. Common Sense. May you help me tell you small. Then I will come do my own layman to layman explanation. Bruce.
So Nigerians are also trying to find out whether it's going to reflect on the price of PMS from their pumps, because
it's not.
That's what
your price. Your price is going to go up. You will pay market value PMS. The minute he starts, you will pay market value. So don't think his refinery is going to make prices drop. You're going to pay market value. For how much are you paying now to fill up your tank? I don't know. How much do you pay to fill up your tank?
About 8,000, 10,000.
Then you'll be paying 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what you're going to pay. Market value. He's not going to do this and subsidize you. He's not going to subsidize you. The government can subsidize you. He will not subsidize you. If he doesn't charge market value, he's going to be broke. So you're going to...
Do you get that? If Dangote doesn't sell based on market value, it's going to go broke. Dangote Refinery is not a subsidy refinery. So if you are currently buying a liter of petrol for 167 or 170 naira, get ready to pay 300 naira per liter, 400 naira per liter. But if your government now feel like, no, that's too much. So instead of your government to pay subsidy to some marketers, now Dangote, they go still they pay that subsidy too. But what I don't get is this, talking about market value. If they say it is about market value, because like I said, these guys have built one gigantic, business that they have put all of their loot, stolen wealth of Nigeria into. This will not be bad belleting, oh. Now them, oh. Emefiole came out and he said that Nigeria gave Dangote 9 billion US dollars. But Dangote has paid back 70% of it, even before producing one single PMS. So which means that's the one they could declare. The rest is coming from who and who? Your criminal politicians. So they want their money back. It's not a charity. So would they now sell, for example, a liter of, a barrel of crude oil at $100 per barrel? Does that mean that as they are going to be selling the crude oil to Dangote in Naira, does that mean that they will be selling a barrel of crude oil at that same value rate? Because that's where the subsidy comes in, oh. Yeah, I mean, people. So do you see how they are going to perfectly shortchange you and you are going to adjust to it and you're going to get used to it? And then eventually you're going to go back to, Olori Brukula or leader Isha. All these our leaders are terrible and God will punish them. See how they played us. Yes, you played yourselves. Yeah, you played yourself. But just wait for it. Okay? And I'm saying this now, get ready for it. So when you begin to pay 200 naira, 300 naira, 400 naira per liter, and the NNPC, that is now a private company, but still the one selling the crude oil of Nigeria, is also saying that a Dangote Refinery doesn't mean that subsidy has ended. Anyway, the scam continues, and as it is, garbage shewu, as wanting to say. Now, nonsense, so I just don't want to not use this clip. Garbage shewu.
It's with regard to the inauguration of the new president on the 29th of May. You were there on the 29th of May 2015. And in terms of the build-up at that time and now, what are the significant differences, if any, in terms of optics?
I think that this time around there's better planning and better preparation for succession and all of the ceremonies that will follow. Don't forget that actually President even signed an executive order to put in place a transition committee. This had never been the case before. We read the memoirs, you know, Ruben Abati and all of that had written. When President Muhammadu Buhari, when former President Jonathan handed over to President Buhari at the Eagle Square on May 29, 2015, there were very embarrassing moments that followed. Reportedly, in fact, the former president was left stranded at some point. And yes, the story was told that by the time he got to the airport, operatives would not allow him the use of the presidential wing of the airport and all of that. So all of these things have been foreseen and planned for. So you would expect a perfect process of, you know, exit and the incoming, you know, processes involving the two leaders.
Buhari is selfish to the end. You know what happened to Jonathan to happen to him? He had to put executive order. He has to actually sign executive order that they must make sure that he has a smooth passage. Nobody to hold him, no my cloth, no me. I'm just going to go away and it's no good. I'm going to be like, I have never been here before. Anyway, if they would do that and live without chaos, it would have been better, but they are living even more chaos. Go to court, go to court. If you feel rigged, go to court. Now, go to court is now turning into, You are enemy of Yoruba. You are enemy of Nigeria. Why are you going to court? You should not have gone to court if you love this country, this and that. Now, that is the stage we are at now. And it is about to even get worse in the coming days. The desperation is getting more. Sure, you know. And according to everybody, they're saying that the judiciary that they protect. Judiciary must not take bribe. Judiciary must fight for justice. Justice in Nigeria. Okay. Eko justice yo. Aba yin layo. Because the man that is the Chief Justice of Nigeria himself is disguising, according to him, as you are asking the justice system to do justice, to save Nigeria from the coming chaos. All eyes on judiciary. My brother, all eyes on judiciary. Oh. Don't distract us. All eyes on judiciary. Judiciary is saying all eyes on judiciary. They are actually all judiciary. But the head of the judiciary, Juditonshia. Now, here, Ogo is now telling others that, please, not disgrace the judiciary, in his words. Everybody is disguising, don't get carried away. Sure you get. I won't use it's been 2 days now since I won't use this video. Now tonight I go use them. This is the man that is going to give the verdict. Whatever you drag at the Court of Appeal tribunal, now where technicality or no technicality will still take place. He's telling them, see your allies on us, so listen.
I encourage you all to dispense justice as usual to all manner of persons without bias, affection, and ill will. Certainly, the judiciary is indeed the last hope of the common and the uncommon man. Therefore, we must all pull together as judicial officers to preserve the confidence reposed in us by the public. I encourage you all.
See, Judy, sharing. Like, is the last hope of common man and uncommon man. All of us were common and all of us were not common. Now, Judy suppose they take care of everybody with blind eyes. You know, suppose they see anybody. They say justice is blind. You know, justice, I mean, Lady Justice. Lady Justilia or Justilia. Wait till that woman name. That woman where they say that woman where they carry weight. She has a name. It's not Judy. Forgot her name, but they call her Lady. It's something like Justina. Be like Domiti. No. Amotekun. No. That's not Amotekun. That lady where they carry weight, where they did in front of court. You know, they see the picture? And from Italy, they get name for her. He's supposed they blind. You know, supposed they see people. He's supposed they hear them. Do you know why they put that blindfold on that lady Justice? Judy. It's because they say justice is blind. You know they see, but they hear. So when you say your own, they will put something here on the scale. You see that scale? Back in the days, that's how they measure who is right and who is wrong. When you say something now, if they say you are right, they put it on the scale. If you say your own, they put it on the scale. If your own there is debunked, they will take it off your scale. At the end of the day, when you finish all your presentation, the one with the highest scale will pull down. Let's say that one they guilty or free. That's how you see that, that scale where they see for the hand of that lady. But today in Nigeria, Lady Justice of Nigeria, you don't see them before? Instead of something we're supposed to do like this, don't do like this. So, you see this one we cover. What do you call it? It don't blind. This one naika. That is why today, justice in Nigeria is cash and carry. And everybody's now saying that they want to get justice in court because of a rigged election. You know what I'm saying now, Abi? Sometimes, they say, but it's not everything that has to be like a funny. But you get my description, Abi. Justice no blind for Nigeria anymore. Justice, don't remove blindfold. Come put on Google. It's come put on Google. You know that dark Google. You know, go know whether those Google where blind people they use. You know, go know whether they are blind or they are not blind. But you know, shall say this person where they hold blessing a blind man. Now blind people they use this kind of thing. Now waiting justice they use in Nigeria be that. He go they look at you like this. Say you are innocent. If they see guilty man beside you, justice go pretend saying they blind. He go carry justice, give criminals. They say me they go lock you up. You go come they scream, injustice, injustice, injustice. It's not because you lose. That if the justice had come, you has gone your own way. Sure, you go they cry. Justice not there anywhere anymore in Nigeria. It's so rare that people are celebrating. The court said, go home. After 14 years on awaiting trial, they go to church and celebrate. Nobody is said responsible for it too, because justice is to die, according to them. Blind. But that they are still kind of, Nigerians, special breed. They see strongly, some still believe that justice my go along. Justice will come. In the name of God, I say amen. I have faith in you. I know they tackle anybody's faith, but when it comes to Nigeria politics, I always try my best to de-escalate religion from it. I know how religious a lot of you are. I do. On Mayegun's Diary Political, I have de-escalated that. Today, a lot of you are doing your best, genuinely, to separate religion from politics, so that politicians will not continue to use religion to hoodwink you, excuse all of their own bad behaviors. I've done that on this platform. We have done that. So some believe that justice will still come. And according to them, there is this song. Freedom cometh by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom cometh by struggle. Nigeria will radicalize you. Nigeria will begin to make you become talented in suffering under the injustice. You become so strong inside the injustice. At the end of the day, you may even turn to canary. Your talent will come out. You begin to create songs to encourage yourselves. And I remember, it's the same battle those we met alive when we were still babies. So, Aluta continua, Victoria Asata. Aluta continua, Victoria Asata. Soli, soli, soli. Since small this, some of us didn't even know all the wordings with the singer. Soli, 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 solidary. Until you go, they don't kill 4 people. And people go, they show their wound. I say, how do you escape? Papa na fence, I climb. You get one car where they come, he clear 3 people. When he clear 3 people, and I see, say, 4 people don't die, yo. Papa, I don't know how I land for the other gutter. Then the police shoot, 2 people die for my body, for my side. At least I don't die. As I enter gutter, I can't pretend I don't die. When the police run away and all of that, that's how I managed to run to one woman's shop. That's how I survived with my brother. Are we going again tomorrow? I said, no, I don't think so. We need to go and count people where. That's the lie. Nigeria radicalized you to that point. At some point, you just give up and say, oh, mama, I'll join them. Go and see those who are like freedom, they call them freedom fighters, human rights fighters. I grew up to know some of them. Today, they'll be politicians. That's why I told you, don't call me your human rights fighter. I know they fight for anybody's rights. What I am doing on Mayegun's Diary Political is to call on all of you who will join hands and beat them. I'm not asking you to come and try your luck. And at the end of the day, you come back and become a motivational speaker. If you can't beat them, my brother, you have to join them. You are Titani. If you can't beat them, don't fight alone. Go back and call the rest of the people. Tell them why they have to fight. All of you join hands together. Go back again. And if you know if you beat them, go back again. Go and call more people. That's what I am doing. Do you get that? So, but others who believe very much that justice will be done and prayers is the master key, like this man. May they no arrest him before Friday. Watch this.
So tomorrow, initially, we were going to have a protest march tomorrow morning, but we're going to mobilize more. Thursday morning by 9 o'clock, we will all appear in black and we will protest from here to Secretariat Junction. We will demand certain people, they must be arrested, prosecuted. Sheikh Jingri made a threat, and that threat is coming through. We cannot be living as if life is not important. We lost over 100, not one, 100 human beings. That was the same local government I passed through when I went to, we went for the burial of Sheikh Galadima. And then the same area I passed, there was nothing. Suddenly, a few days later, these evil, wicked, mindless, heartless creatures. So I'm going to lead us on a move. We will go to the street. If you keep silent when your neighbor's house is burning, your own house will catch fire. Are you hearing what I'm saying now? All right. So if you're truly my disciples, you will get other people. We will get on the streets and tell the world we are not silent. You can't overrun us on the plateau. You can't overrun us in the middle belt. And the church of Jesus cannot be intimidated. We are a marching force. Is that right? And at the same time, I'm going to say some things. Don't worry. If anybody wants to take me up, I'm ready for them. But I'm waiting for Thursday morning.
Amen. 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 Thank you very much. So the situation is like getting worse and worse and worse. People are still dying needlessly, and justice is still very much rare. As rare as justice is, some people are actually everywhere feeding fat on that injustice. For example, they told you to go to court, go to court. The court is already invaded, infested. See this woman. She is the governorship candidate of Labour Party in Rivers State, where the electoral haste, that is one of the stain on the Tifnumbu's rigged victory, as they will say. The madam just came out and said, as a Papa de Kano, they shop for court and judgment to sack Obi, sack everybody that is Labour Party's candidate. More than the River State to woman. Hear a story.
I'm Comrade Mrs. Beatrice Itubo, the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Rivers State. We have been informed by our lawyers that one Lamido Apapa, who claims to be acting chairman of Labour Party, has instructed some lawyers to come and withdraw our matter. The best I know about Lamido Apapa is that he used to be the deputy national chairman of Labour Party. Even before the election, prior to the election, he was suspended for anti-party activities. And I don't know where they are coming from. And then if he has problem with the party, what concerns the candidate, he will now go to court, to the tribunal. We are told before now that their aim is to come and withdraw all the matters beginning from the presidential to the House of Assembly elections. They want to withdraw all Labour Party suits in the tribunals. And so we are saying enough is enough. We have spent money to contest the election. People robbed us of our victory. And then somebody who claims to be a Labour Party member is now coming to see how he can further destroy the party, destroy the candidates. We're saying enough is enough. They should stop this rascality because it's taking them to nowhere. And we are further saying that should they continue, after this, I think we'll begin to pick them one by one and take them to proper court because they are causing us a lot of distraction and we don't want that distraction at this point in time. And so we are calling on our members to remain focused, that there is nothing happening. We have not withdrawn our matter. We don't intend to withdraw, and nobody is going to withdraw our matters in the court. We are going to pursue this matter to the logical conclusion there in Rivers. And we believe that our presidential candidate will not be deterred, and other candidates will even in other states, because we are lively informed that that's exactly what they want to do in all the states of the federation. So we are not deterred. we are going to be focused and we are going to reclaim our stolen mandate. Like in River State, the people I saw, the lawyers are coming from River State, and we have always said that the desperation of the River State governor who wants to plant his cousin or his brother, whoever, as the governor, is making him go at any length to see what he can do. So I'm suspecting that they are being paid from those quotas, because I cannot see why a normal human being who is not sponsored by anybody, who is not paid by anybody, will begin to use his or her money to begin to sponsor a matter that doesn't concern you. What injury will it cause them if we go to court? So you can see that there's something happening somewhere. There's a saying in my place that when a small child is crying and pointing to one particular direction, is that the mother or the food of that baby is in that place? So something is beating the drum for them, and they are dancing to the gallery. But then, of course, God will shame them at the end of the day. Well, the senatorial candidate has argued this matter. We have also come to our national secretariat. They have given us further instructions on what to do. And so we believe that the lawyers will file their matters. And apart from that, we're also calling on the judges to do the needful. The tribunal is called Election Tribunal, not Party Dispute Tribunal. So if there is a party dispute, the internal party dispute, they should challenge to the appropriate quarters. They should not come to want to withdraw cases of candidates and then the party. The party is behind us, and we are moving forward. We have instruction of the party, and nobody has withdrawn that instruction.
Right. That's from River State. Now, just before, because I'm not going to take us tonight, okay? I'm going to wrap up soon, right? But before we continue, I saw a comment where, when I was talking about, when I was making that my usual scenario, that a lot of you were laughing. So I kind of removed my glasses, I bet. And one person was like, Mayegun is obviously drunk. Let me tell you something. I kind of have no say in what you think of me. Do you get that? Number one, if I want to drink, if I want to drink on my program, I will drink. I don't hide that. Though I've never drank on my program, except when I want to dance in my kitchen. I drink my gin, I drink everything I want to drink. But I've passed that stage where you can look at me and be like, oh, look at him. He doesn't even speak a good English. Look at him. He doesn't even do the, all those things are your views and you are entitled to them. Okay? But jives and all of that stuff, they don't really kind of, really move anymore. But when you mention them, and I kind of pick them, I pick you too. Because, you are here listening to a drunkard, somebody who is drunk. So that says a lot about you too. I have been told, at the early stage, somebody will be there and he will be dropping a comment. Oh no, look at that. This useless English. how do you even understand what he is saying? His English is so, And I'm like, Abolori Brukulele, then tell you say I be English. Oh, thank God for it. The tata that I can still talk, that you can manage to hear. Which of your English, who are actually like English, or who them born for here, for UK? Which of any of them can speak Yoruba fluently? Even Tata Tali, that will actually be enough for you to understand. Do you think I'm going to feel bad? Whether you think I speak good English or I don't. Whether I add my tenses well or not. Whether I use present tense or past tense, whether I should use present future. Sure you get? Those stages are past. If I come here and my eyes are red short, if you sit down there in your living room, and this my eyes, red eyes, now they give you concern. At least you are here for 3 hours. You can sit down there and start staring at that my red eyes. Oh, you don't smoke. That's your problem. But for somebody like myself, in the process, I may manage to arrest your soul with the truth that will never let you go anymore. And you see these red eyes, they will no longer mean anything to you anymore. And if it was a joke and all of that, fine. I don't pick them and I won't talk about them. That's why I said it. You can't do jibes on Mayegun anymore. Like, it don't pass that level. Sure you get. You can't jibe him on the issue of, okay. As I would say, I can easily just say, well, in the area of how you feel, or apart from my message and all I have to say, if you feel otherwise about me, is your choice. And like Buhari in 2015, on this matter of saying it as it is, in my own way, not in Buhari's way, I am for everybody, I am for nobody. And if Namaha is be the problem with you, Baba, you are welcome.
I intend to keep my oath and serve as president to all Nigerians. I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
Thank you. I'm talking about belonging to everybody and belonging to nobody. After 8 years, thousands of Nigerians killed in the Middle Belt, especially in Benue and Plateau. Autumn, one of the G-string 5, one of the G-string governors, said he will become a journalist, a freelance journalist, like Reuben Abati, or maybe he will get a job like a journalist. But for all of these things that Buhari have done to them in Middle Belt, on behalf of Middle Belt people, they forgive Buhari. Same day, Fulani terrorists, they invaded his community, his own community, his local government area, his own personal, the local government that Autumn comes from. You know, they have already issued a fatwa on him. They said all he does is to criticize Buhari, criticize Fulani, even though he's not been able to pay salary, not been able to fix a Benue. He's always blaming Fulani, always blaming Buhari. Just 6 days to the end of his immunity. And the Miyetti Allah that issued a fatwa on him. Miyetti and Fulani terrorists that also issued a fatwa on him. Fatwa means death warrant. They've issued a death warrant on Benue governor. All because of that Benue crisis. So a lot of you may not remember. And I know some of you will be like, I don't feel sorry for him. Baba, it no matter. In 6 days' time, they will arrest, Fulanis will arrest Autumn. If they catch him, oh Lord, I will law. Do you get that? But in his own word, he said, listen, everything we Buhari did to us on behalf of the Benue people, we forgive him. I don't know if Jima is going to agree, but listen to this.
As a born-again Christian, I have forgiven President Muhammadu Buhari. He has taken us from top to bottom. But that does not mean we should continue to hold it on him. Thank God the Constitution provides 4 years. After 4 years, you can go in for a second term. After second term, another person will come. So we hope that the incoming administration will provide succor, will provide help, will provide security for our people, will provide economic development, will provide peace for our people. We have suffered for 8 years. So for me, I have forgiven him. He doesn't need to go to Niger. He should stay here with us. And all of us should work with the incoming administration that God will put in place. And by the grace of God, we shall move again from bottom to top. I know that in 2018, when some of us had the privilege of serving with President Goodluck Jonathan, we were taking Nigeria from bottom to top to a certain level. But now we are at the bottom.
So maybe Buhari no go Niger. Buhari no run away. Nigeria where you make well for 8 years. You no supposed to run anywhere. Stay here. As a Christian, we forgive you. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni, that word, the usage of that we go self, I'm sure I know we more they careful how we they take you. I mean, where would they take a use we in a sentence? So, because we ain't going, it's like I would think anyway, posterity will be the judge of everyone's role, including the roles of these Niger Delta people who are now in Abuja. And from tomorrow, now fire for fire. Anybody wait up to me, they no sweat to Tifnubu in. See this, they say they be ex-militants. Baba, they Abuja, old men and women, maybe not women, old men, no. See Niger.
Anybody to go and intimidate our judges. That makes us to invite our brothers from Niger Delta, all states in Niger Delta, to come down to Abuja and assist us, because Tinubu, we voted for him. Don't let us leave Tinubu as if to say he didn't have anybody. We voted for him. We are his people. And we will stand on his mandate. That is why we are all here. So for that, we are telling any non-entity, if you prove non-entity, we'll answer you with non-entity.
We are here today because we have watched the dramas, the irritations, and everything that has been going on. We, the people of Nigeria, who gave our mandate freely to Ahmed Bola Tinubu, had come out. We will occupy this court environment until the end of the court. We want to sound a note of warning to those who think they have monopoly of violence. They beat up people in court and they are tolerated. We want to send a note of warning to them. If you are
70 years old man, 70 years old man,
how many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
And that's where we're going to draw the curtain tonight. I told you I won't take calls, but I've kind of had a wonderful night too. It would have been greater if I took calls, but I won't tonight, and I will some other night. So thank you so much for spending your evening with me again. Remember, if you join us midway, you can watch this from the start. If you don't like the autotonum blah, 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 of the beginning of the video, of course you can skip it. That's not a luxury that those who are watching live as they don't have that luxury. It happens as it is happening. It's rolling and taping. You can watch the replay. And thank you so much, all of you, once again, for all the support. Okay, I would never take them for granted, I have to say. And every now and then, even though sometimes I just wish I would never be in that situation whereby, but I have found I found my kind of a strength in so many of you who genuinely love Mayegun. And because of your love and support, I've been here. It's kind of the motivation anyway. And I appreciate every one of it. Every one of you as well. Thank you. I will see you some other time. And you can, like and share if you haven't. Like this broadcast. It is your offering. Like it, share it, and join me next time. Good night.
mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Mayegun Diary Diary politico.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun Diary na him be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù máyé ń ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.